What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. Thanks for joining me again on this YouTube Wednesday. I know it's been a minute, but been busy on tour in Europe, traveling, getting back, and getting a whole bunch of other things done with respects to Makita Sky and purveyor underground. Enough of that. I'm here to talk to you about my Mind, Moon, and People EP release that's coming on MadTech this Friday. I'm going to be talking more specifically about what I call the lead track, which is called Pussy in a Wolf's Clothing, and the inspiration and some of the things behind that. I first off want to thank all the people out there, DJs and tastemakers, who have shown very early support and really backed it up legitimately with a lot of plays in Ibiza. Just not something I entirely expected, but I truly appreciate it. We got guys like Tigga, DJ Sneak supporting way early, when I gave him the track to just play with Kerry Chandler, of course, Martinez Brothers, Hector Fuego, and a whole slew of others like Luke Solomon and some other great tastemakers out there really putting the full weight of support behind the track. So it comes out this Friday, September 15th on MadTech Records. I'm just going to talk a bit more about the inspiration behind the lead track called Pussy in a Wolf's Clothing. I will say actually that there are other tracks, of course, filling out the EP, so it's Pussy in a Wolf's Clothing. There's The Day the Moon Collapsed, the original, along with the dub I put on there, and there's Botanga, which is inspired by a fashion designer originally with an African background. The EP's based in New York and LA, I'm not entirely sure, but very inspiring dude in terms of going against the grain and doing his own thing. I guess when it comes to Pussy in a Wolf's Clothing, I made the song particularly as a message out to people who in this industry are somewhat passive aggressive, afraid to take chances and do other things. Or then you got the flip side of it, which is, guys who are putting out fucking tracks and having their distributors and other ghost users buying up the tracks for better placement on the charts. And then you got some guys acting hard behind their keyboard, talking shit, rather than focusing on putting out better fucking music and allowing people to decide what is legit and what makes sense for our industry. So this really kind of covers that whole gambit. That's why there's certain things and elements in the song, which I'll describe a bit later, that I placed in there intentionally just as weight behind the message of the songs. The intro, when the first break comes in, is by a dude named Jocko that I sampled. It's considered to be one of the first critically acclaimed rap records out there, like having rap on wax. So I'm just gonna solo this out and you can hear it, what he's saying.
Boom tang tang real good. Bang the 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 boom tang tang real good.
So I got that up on a ramp with the volume, and he's saying bang the boom tang tang real good. So it all showcases the purpose of the song, like, fuck you pussies, I'm gonna keep rocking it straight. So that's the intro of that. Then there's some other really cool inspirational things that I've added here. I call this the Carlo Leo thing with tech house. I mean, with this track, I'm sure a lot of people expected me to do like another Jackin EP, but I felt that tech house was the right measure of hardness in terms of the beats and the bass to get this point across about these passive aggressive motherfuckers out there, So Carlo Leo, I always loved this production because he has these little elements, if you listen carefully to what's going on, that really piece the track together. So I call this Carlo's Crowd. I didn't sample it from Carlo, but it's kind of along the same lines. So if you listen carefully, I think I got this up on, I got some automation here. Spread that out. throw in the beat, see how it ties in. Straight Carlo Leoism right there. There's some side chain stuff going on. We got some rides in there that's Mr. G inspired. I have no qualms about admitting that. I love Mr. G's songs and how he leverages the cymbals and the rides at critical points in the tracks. It's just something I had to rock with, and I try to use it sparingly, but that's exactly where it comes from. So that's the Carlo Leo crowd in the Mr. G ride. All right, y'all, let's talk about the bass line. The bass line comes from my beautiful friend here, the Mini Brute. I mean, I mess around with the settings on this thing all the time, and that's what I love about it, because it, you know, it delivers the right level of energy in that right moment in time. I got it passing through a UAD preamp and another, actually it's a mic preamp, and it just sounds right. Let's hear things with the Carlo Leo crowd inspiration. I might bring in the Mr. G rides and that beat break as well, but the bass line is what really makes this track. And I threw a little additional distortion on that bass line. Yeah, the D16 Demuir 2. I don't know if y'all can see this. That's why. So what's happening there is I'm playing with the frequency of the resampler that really dirties it up. Also adds a bit of sub too. That's why I like using that particular plugin. Then I added some actual sub. Should be coming in here, right here. I'll solo it out. Take out Carlo's crowd. That's just a straight sub bass, stock sub bass from Logic. I use this a lot to fill out bass lines and give nice bottom and depth. Like I said, this song is very specific to, you know, passive aggressive people who don't want to focus on the music and rather play generic, boring fucking techno rather than think about progressing the music. And I'm not here to say I'm a leader or lead tastemaker in techno, but I know as a listener, when things continue to sound the same and everyone's fucking dressing in black and looking the same and just being boring, and it's no different from someone buying up their own tracks or getting other people to buy their tracks. Like the shit is boring and it's not progressive and it's not demonstrative of what true leadership is in music. I think people should just focus on the music and get things done proper. However, I digress a little bit, but the reason why I was talking about all of that is because I added another vocal element above and beyond the bang bang, the poontang, you know, just to talk about pussy necessarily. But this vocal right here from Bama.
Manhood is gone.
So manhood is gone. So all that progressive, you know, stuff that I was talking about, whereas people sit back and choose to do the passive, kind of flaky, boring shit and hide behind a fucking keyboard and talking shit, you're not a real person that's really dedicated to this game and dedicated to stepping shit up. So I have that vocal used, looks like, yeah, almost 10, 12 different times at different key parts of the song. I underscore that vocal with, I think, rave lead here. I got it here.
Manhood is gone.
Right here.
Manhood is gone. Manhood is gone. Manhood is gone.
And I play with this a little bit. This instrument, oh, it's massive. You can hear it. You can hear the intensity of that. Continuing to flow through. And then I bring it down.
Manhood is gone.
And then I do that hit to bring in another drop. So when you hear that, you know, it just really puts a punch into things and say, yeah, the drop is coming, get ready for it, you know. So when you put that all together, it really builds things up, you know, in a manner that, you know, the listener can anticipate things and be like, wow, you know, what's coming. So let's play it all together and hear what the effect is.
Manhood is gone.
I love this kind of squishy sound to change things up, punch it up. Got the Carlo crowd. Right here.
Manhood is gone.
I think I got the true Mr. G ride going on right about here. Yeah, that's essentially the emphasis of the song. I mean, there's little arrangement things happening. There's I could have swore I used some kind of drum roll that I think it's here. Is this it? Yeah. It just works well to kind of break things up. So let's play it all together and you'll see what I'm talking about. I used it to put more emphasis on the drop.
Man is gone.
That breaks things up a little bit and does it differently. And I completely forgot about I have this snare, this other snare going on with the swing. There it is. So let's listen to it with the beat. Yeah. It's like a real, you know, kind of like a punch. Yeah. Yeah. There you have it. Pussy in a Wolf's Clothing. Cop it. MadTech Records. This Friday, September 15th. And I hope you get the inspiration behind it. Some of y'all might agree with me. Some of y'all might disagree with me. But that's the inspiration. And that's why I made this video. So check it out. Again, I appreciate the support from all the heavy hitters to guys that just love this music and play it out on a regular. All right, peace. It's your boy Demuir. Later.